everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to do 3 looks with this eyeshadow palette, which is the Glimmering Gems from Avon. This is the palette that came out this year in the UK. I think it came out this year all over the world, but it came out in the UK for the month of December, and it obviously has the party season in mind. As we have quite a few gem inspired shimmers in this one. So I'm going to do 3 looks with this palette. There will be one extra one on my Facebook page, which I'll link in the description box, and there'll also be in-depth swatches with this. I have previously featured this eyeshadow palette on my channel when I did like a first impression of Avon makeup, recently released Avon makeup including this palette, and I've used these 3 shades for a look. Well, I've also used this one a little bit, so I will kind of stay away from these shades in today's video. That video will be linked in the eye down below in the description box as well. So if you are into this kind of content, I do review quite a bit of Avon makeup, but I love makeup in general, so I do feature a lot of brands on my channel. And if that's for you, I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Okay, I'll get into the swatches, then we'll do the looks, then we do my opinion. Okay, so first, please excuse this nail. I don't know what happened, but it's obviously chipped. So I'm going to do the swatches a little bit more in depth, I would say. I've got primer on this side, no primer there. So I'm going to start with finger swatches. On the primer side. So just from primer versus no primer, I don't see that much of a difference. Some colors are a little bit more intense on the primer side. So when I do the brush swatches, because I do want to do brush swatches as well, I don't know why that's so hard for me to say, I'll just go with no primer. But yeah, these are the colors. This color here, which is this one, it's actually a lot more purpley than it looks in the pan, like more of a taupe, I would say. And then I have this one and this one that don't swatch that great, but I did have colors in the past that didn't swatch great, but I still applied very nicely on the eyes and blended very nicely on the eyes. Okay, so for brush swatches, I'm going to use this brush, which is an old Avon brush. It's one of those C-shaped brushes that have more densely packed bristles, so they are good for eyeshadow application. Not so much for blending, but eyeshadow application itself, they're very good because they will pack a lot of product. And then between my swatches, I will clean my brush with this. And if you're wondering what's this on my arm, it's just from my top, because I'm wearing a long sleeve top, so I just lifted my top. I did that on my arm. So with brush swatches, we can see that this one I actually applied much better. The purple still did not apply that well, so we'll see how it applies on the eyes. And then these two I think are better if you apply them with your fingers. Now looking at all of these palettes, I do want to see if I have any similar colors. Obviously not any of these ones, but straight away I can see some similar ones. This one with this one. Let's try and do some swatches. Yeah, I think that's the exact same shade. Let's try this one with this one here, because I know that's like the classic Avon top. No, they're different. That one's a lot more browny and that one's a lot more purpley. This one will be the classic Avon taupe that they do in almost every palette. I do want to see if this one is maybe similar to any of these shades. Let's give that a swatch again. No, it's not. It's maybe similar a bit to this one, but definitely different. Let's see this beige shade there. That one's definitely lighter than that one. Yeah. Found another one that might be similar. So I've got that one there. Let's have. Yeah, not the same. I think that one there is a lot more similar to that one. So overall, there is only one firm repeat, which is this shade with this shade from the Glowing Gold palette. So if you bought the Glowing Gold last year, I think you would still benefit from getting this one this year if the colors interest you. Yeah. Okay, for the first look, I'm starting with this trio right here. And then I'm going with the burgundy shade in my crease. And just blending that nicely. Going with this purple shade in the outer corner. And then I'm taking the pink shade and I'm putting that all over the lid and a little bit over that purple shade as well, just to make sure it's all nicely blended. Now I'm taking the purple shade again on my lower lash line. Then I'm gonna show you my other eye. It's gonna be all sped up without cuts, so you can see the whole process. And this is the finished look with mascara. Second look, I'm starting with this purple on a fluffy brush. I'm starting to build that up into the crease, but I don't really like how it's showing up. So I'm going to move onto a more denser brush. And use patting motions. Then I'm going back to my fluffy brush to blend. I'm going to go with the silver. I'm taking the sponge applicator that comes with a palette. But then if you want that silver more intense, you can also apply it with your finger. I'm using that purple again on my lower lash line. It's not showing up at all with this brush, so I'm moving again onto that denser brush. And then when I moved on to my other eye, I dipped into the wrong shade. I dipped into that shade by accident. And I actually quite liked the combination between that and the purple, so I'm adding some more of that in my outer corner. And I'm blending. And this is how I would have done it properly on my other eye. And this is the finished look. I've added liner and mascara. And now for the third look, I'm going to use the cool tone quad right there. I'm starting with the blue, the darker blue, in my outer corner. Then I'm just going to draw my shape. You can also do this by applying tape. And then I'm going to into that teal. I'm placing this more on the center of my lid, making sure it's nicely blended over the other blue, although I didn't have trouble blending this at all. Now I'm going into the silver, and I'm going to put it on my inner corner and wherever else on the lid. I'm going to blend everything with the purple, blend the edges. Here it is on the other eye. Then I'm moving on to my lower lash line. I'm taking the purple on a denser brush. And then I'm adding some more of that silver, a little bit on my inner corner down on the lower lash line, if that makes any sense. And this is the finished look. I've just put mascara on. Okay, so let me tell you my favorite shades in this palette. I really like this. I really like this burgundy. It shows up nicely, it builds up nicely, and it blends nicely. And I really like this shade right here. I will insert a picture of me using it just all over the lid on its own, because it is really a beautiful shade. I was looking at some other videos demoing this palette, and they kind of like all gravitate towards this shade. It is really beautiful, so I really like that one. The shade that disappointed me is this one. This one shows up quite pastel on the eyes. If you're after a pastel purple, then that's fine. If you want it to look more like the pan, you have to build it up quite a bit. I did find that when I added the blue, I didn't have to build it up just as I didn't have to build it up as much, and it showed up nicer. It is, however, a nice blending shade. If, for example, you want to use this blue all over the lid, and you want something just to clean the edges up, that would be a good choice. One combination I haven't tried and I want to try on the back of my hand is use this one with this silver. So what I will do is I'll swatch the burgundy and then I'll do a swipe of the silver on top just to see how that, or if the color changes, and we can get different effects. Oh yeah. So that's the swatch there with the silver. That looks gorgeous. So you could definitely combine those two like that. This shade is definitely more purplish than it looks in the pan, so that can be a little bit deceiving, although it works really well when you pair it with this shade. However, this is kind of like two palettes in one, because all of these shades are very cool toned and you can't really pair them with these shades other than that combination I've just tried. I guess you could. I personally can't come up with looks where that would look good to me, if you know what I mean. But if you're interested in this palette for certain shades and for certain looks, then it would be a good choice. I will come to this palette when I want these colors. For example, I want to create certain looks, like do this combination, which I really like. But if I want something a lot more varied, I will dig into my collection and pull out other palettes to use with this one. I am the type of person who does like to do something different every single time, but if you are the type of person who likes to do the same looks because they're tried and tested and you really love them, you know, just absolutely nothing wrong with that, then going for something like this could be a good choice, because you know exactly what you're getting, you know exactly which shades to go for and all of that. And like I said in my first impression video, this can be seen in like quads or trios. So you got your trio there, your trio there, your trio there, or your quad there, which I've used in this look right here. And this palette can also be a really good choice if you mostly go towards neutrals, but you want just a little bit of color for those party looks, or for whatever looks you just want just a pop color now and again, then this could be a good choice because you have those colors over there. So overall, for me and my makeup tastes, this palette doesn't wow me. It's good quality overall, except for that purple, which is a little bit but personally it doesn't wow me, but I can see how it can have a good place in somebody else's collection. Even in my collection it has a good place. Like I said, I will go to it when I want certain colors from this one. So yeah, that's kind of my review and my looks, and I hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments which one's your favorite look. Once again, a reminder to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, if you found it useful, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my face. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.